Good morning. Welcome to Belinda's Baubles. Today is day 2, which is December 2nd. So I hope you have had a good start to your December, and thank you for joining me here today. All right, so it is a chilly morning here in Texas. I have work today, so I'm in my scrubs, and I am just wanted to come on this morning and talk to you guys a little bit before heading out. It has been a fast start to the year, or to the month. It's been a really fast year that packed a lot into it, but I am so glad to be here with you guys here in December. All right, so I did want to talk to you a little bit about a couple of things this morning before we get into the Advent, because no, I did not work on it last night. I ended up going downstairs and working on editing and watching a little bit of TV with Sam before going on to bed. But it's 29 degrees in this morning. There is frost up on the roofs, and this is very early in December, or for us to get it. Usually we don't get it till mid-January, February if we get really cold weather. So this is early for us. So I'm not quite prepared, because what I have been working on diligently, which is another reason I haven't figured out what I want to do with my Advents, is the Big Triangle by Henterm Stein, which fits perfectly in my big Erin Lane bag I got at DFW Fiber Fest. Okay, so here we are. Whenever I showed y'all in the last episode, sorry, I have my morning voice. Just having my coffee this morning. My Faith Baptist 50 Years of Faith mug that I got last year at the anniversary. That's where I graduated high school and went to church when I lived in Virginia. Okay. It's huge to be able to figure out and not get the yarn all tangled. Okay, so when I left you guys, I had just started the second arm. Yeah, I just started the second arm with you. So I have finished both sleeves. I have done the button band, and I'm working on the collar, and I am so close. It's German short rows, or double rows. She does it as a, I think she's from Germany, so she doesn't call it German short rows. But I've got all these things around. Okay, let's see if I can try this on without messing it up. I have a really long cord on here, so we should be able to do this if I'm careful. It helps if the hand goes in instead of the elbow. Okay. All right, so I'm wanting this for my winter coat. And so I've made it a little big. Let me stand up. I wanted it a little bit big. So I actually had to go extra long on the cuffs because they fold up. And I wanted them to at least reach the top knuckle on my thumb. Since this is non-superwash wool, I'm not expecting it to stretch much. So I had to make sure it actually does fit. So the button band goes like this. The collar will open up, and there's a second part to the collar here that I'm working on now. And so it will look a little bit like this. Now I have made it about 4 rows wider in the button band than what she called for, because even though it's got some good space here for me in case I wanted to put a sweater under it or something. And one of the cool things about this is the way she has it designed is the only sewing you're supposed to have to do is right here. Everything else is picked up stitches. Now for me, I made the pockets extra deep, so I'm going to have some sewing right here to do. But I know you can tell where I went down and started knitting in the round. I'm hoping a little bit of that will fix itself when I block it, but if not, I can live with that. That's not a big issue for me. And I'm hoping I'm not knocking into you guys. I apologize. If I am, I'll try to pull that out. But of course, I don't have it ready for this first freeze. Ah. All right, success. So it's a fold down collar, so I have a little ways to go still. But we're supposed to get a snap to this polar vortex. It's supposed to come back around. So hopefully I will have this done by the next time. I am using, if you're new here, I'm using Cascade 220. And this is Camel and Silk from Swiss Mountain. I'll bag that back up. Okay. The other thing I'm working on right now is my version of Christmas socks. I got this yarn. You can only see the green a little bit. There's actually some green in there as well as red. You can see it better on this side. Here we go. That's where it was hiding. And this is Lane's de Nord. I did have it in here, now it's gone. Okay. And one of my needle stoppers came off. Stick him on there better. Okay, so I am doing Vanilla is the New Black. I've done one, a pair of these in, what was it? Sport weight yarn. And so now I'm doing the fingering weight. And I'm wanting them to be a bit taller for me. My calves are big, so I've actually cast on for 72, and then I'm going to decrease down to 64 a little bit further down because I want these to come up above my little short boots. And so I'm probably in the next stripe or two, I'm going to go down. But what I'm doing right now is I'm working them 2 at a time in tandem, and of course 9-inch circulars for me. And I'm doing these, I think, on 2.75. Yeah. No. What am I doing on? Is that what I'm doing on? My eyes are not focusing real well this morning. Got to be on here somewhere. I can't focus on them. This is ridiculous. Yes, a US 2.75. Okay. Chai Goos. Yeah, they're both Chai Goos. Had to look to see if it had the red. But I've gone down on this one as far as the yellow goes before it starts going into the white. And so now I'm seeing how many rows this will do so I can try to do matchy-matchy and see if I need to do any adjustments up at the top. that way it'll be easier along the way. So I'm going to be working on these towards Christmas. And then I have one gift knit, which is downstairs in the car, because I'm doing that as car knitting, and that is Seaver's scarf that I'm trying to get done for Christmas this year. He's still wearing a crocheted scarf that I made for him 8-10 years ago, something like that. And it's got holes all in it and everything. I mean, he has worn that sucker to death, and he's still wearing it, even though it's turning to fringe. So I've been working on that scarf for him for about a year, because scarves are not my favorite things to make. Just, it takes so long. I know I should go the other direction, but this one has a set pattern, so it's reversible, and I'll show you that in the next couple of days. Okay, so shall we get into let's end with the chocolate. Okay, so I didn't get this all organized. As I said, I just went back downstairs. So let's find. Day 2 was up here towards the top yesterday. It's still up towards the top. And this is this Scrappy Advent, 10-gram Advent, that my friend and I exchanged Advents. Oh, wow. She lives in Wisconsin, so she's giving me some cheesehead needle stoppers, and this beautiful, beautiful sea green yarn to go up against this one. Okay, so last night I was wearing, what is this, Tin Can Knits Nest cowl. And I was wearing it, and those cowls tight to my neck, I really do like. So one of the patterns I was showing you yesterday, that's what it is. So I'm really thinking that that's what I want to do with this, because the nest cowl is DK, so it's a bit thicker, but fingering weight with a little bit of color work will probably be a similar thickness. And then I'll still have enough of these left over to do something else with them, like that project bag. Okay, so put this along in with all my other needle stoppers. And I'm definitely going to be using those cheese heads on this project. So I'll have to get my needles out and get the pattern downloaded, and so I can get started on it today. So what else? There we go. I'm doing the lint teddy, and all right, found day 2. I have nails and I have trouble doing this. I have trouble getting it started, but I guess that means it's not going to come undone too easily. Okay, so they have this little place to stick your nail in. Of course, I did not notice it on here. That's why it's not done, which makes it a whole lot easier if you follow the unread instructions. Okay. So let's pull this over. Ooh, I have a ball of some kind. A little snowball. Every morning should start with a little bit of chocolate, right? Okay, so since I am heading off to work and there's nothing planned for the rest of the day as far as other than work, what I have in store for you guys today is part 1 to Sam's original story. So I hope you enjoy this little bit of, I guess, a Christmas present from my family to yours. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Does God Believe in Santa Claus? An original short story by Sam Stone. Part 1. Guess what, boys and girls? There's a really big day just around the corner, and I have a very special story for you. Grab your most festive skein of yarn, yell at Grandma and the kids to come running, and let's all gather in front of the fireplace. I've got a big fire going here at my house in case you're not able to play with matches at your age anymore. Oops. Let's see if we can tone that down just a bit. Ow, ow, ow,
A few moments later.
Okay, now that we're almost settled in, can anyone tell me what the very special day I was talking about is? I'll give you a big hint. Not Halloween. That's a fun day, but not as important as the one we're all looking forward to. If you're like me and my family, we just had a really great Thanksgiving. We ate and ate and ate. And now we ache and ache and ache. But that's another story. Can anyone tell the rest of us what's next? Okay, I'll give you a hint. What day do you get up really early and run to the living room and see how much coal is in your stocking? Or if you were good all year, maybe there was a whole yarn shop's worth of goodies under the wishing tree you put up 6 months ago, because that's when the stores all started selling decorations for you to buy. I know it's not a wishing tree. At my house, sometimes it's more like a begging tree. But it's actually called something else. And that brings us to what I want to talk to you about today. Maybe we can laugh now and truly look forward to this festive season whenever it comes around every year. But with all the excitement and goings on, I've discovered it's awfully easy to skip the part about what this season should be about. Do you know anyone who may have done that too? Let's play a word game. I'll start out by singing a piece of a song, and when I stop singing, you finish it with the last word. And I'll let you say it. Ready? I'm not so sure I am. It's beginning to look a lot like... That's right. It's Christmas. And you did really great singing that last word. But let's try something else. How about saying it like this? Christmas. The same name, but all of a sudden it sure seems to have a completely different meaning, doesn't it? I was thinking, I've known about God my whole life, nearly 60 years now. I have read His Bible by myself, with my family, my friends, in Sunday school, and with the preacher, who I swear must have taken a course in college about hypnosis, because he sure knows how to put someone to sleep. Well, I couldn't do all that without knowing His Son Jesus, now could I? Jesus, Christ, Christmas, Christmas. So I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe the Bible. But where does any of that say once a year I should grab my wallet, my credit cards, my cookie jar stash, dollars now, not yarn now, and run to every store in town so I can give this Santa guy kudos to celebrate something neither of us had anything to do with? The other day I had a thought, not entirely by accident either. I wonder if God believes in Santa Claus. I mean, I believe in him, and that must mean he believes in me. And I don't even ask for cookies like the jolly old elf demands for ransom when he comes by. Now, you and I are friends, right? And I wouldn't be a good one if I told you to knit to and purl whatever in the most important knitting project of your whole life. Would I? Then I think I might deserve that coal this year if I don't love you enough to invite you along while I explore this whole Jesus, Santa, and God. Or next year's loan payment for this year's presents to try and find out who and what's real. So here's what we're going to do. When we get together next week for the next part of this story, I think we will talk about who Santa is. Do you believe he comes to your house every year to leave you something special that you want or need? We will see what we can find out about why Santa is so jolly, if he's real. And while we're at it, we'll try to understand why God would believe in Santa too. See you soon.